Oh my god, it finally came, the Mojo 60 Ember Bluetooth mechanical keyboard. I promised you all this giveaway for months, and oh boy, is it worth the wait. I'm in love with it, and now I'm just gonna bail on this giveaway. Just kidding, man. I'm a man of my word. This might be a rare board someday, so subscribe now to keep an eye on the giveaway announcement and a full review. The Lemur Pro from System76. It is beautiful and it sparkles, literally. And well, System76 seems to be a YouTuber fan favorite, and I almost didn't go for a System76 because of it. But there is a good reason to why YouTubers and so many in the community love System76. If you're new to the channel, I have no relationship with any companies on my channel. Everything is financed on my own and for the purpose of sharing my experience with you. It is all subjective. That said, I was in the market for a new laptop in my mind. The only brands I would consider getting a laptop from are Dell, Lenovo, Apple, and Microsoft. All other hardware don't seem to carry the same quality. I hate Windows for privacy, for security, for the command prompt, and all the GUIs, lack of customization. The sole reason I would run Windows is so I can play games. So I started looking into Apple, but then I realized, do I really want to get locked into a closed source ecosystem? All I really ever wanted is Linux on any machine, but I don't have as much time anymore to tinker. And so my journey to looking into Linux pre-built machines began. I checked out Tuxedo, Purism, Dell, Lenovo. Well, you might say, can't you run Linux on just about everything? Well, yes and no. It takes some tinkering sometimes, and at the end of the day, like I said, I have less and less time to tinker. What you get from System76 is a good hardware package that is fine-tuned for Linux. But that's not all. You get a company that really loves and respects their users and improves their product every day via their own Linux distro, Pop! OS. Here are the things that sealed the deal for me with System76. It started on Twitter, where I mentioned that I would like to buy one with BTC. The head engineer for Pop! OS reached out and we had a little back and forth. It was kind of nice. I'll be real, got kind of starstruck for a minute. I started to follow him and realized how involved the entire company is with ensuring their products are improved upon and easy to use for any user. I've seen them literally push updates the next day based on feedback and make moves like disabling Intel IME when privacy and security is threatened. The Lemur Pro is a rebranded Clevo laptop, but System76 takes it one step beyond and custom assembles each one. So you'll see that Tuxedo offers the same laptop, but the screen is much brighter from System76. There are videos comparing boot times of literally the same laptop from Tuxedo versus System76, and boy does it leave Tuxedo in the dust, simply because of their dedication to improving software. They installed Core Boot, which replaces your BIOS with an open source firmware. Boot times are insanely fast, and since the firmware isn't coming from a proprietary hardware company, you can audit the code yourself. For non-technical peeps, this just means that the code is public and reviewed by a community who values security and privacy. When I reached out to System76, I asked if I could have pieces of hardware disabled like the speakers, microphone, and camera. Not just disabled, but completely disconnected. They said, sure, no problem. Can you imagine ordering a MacBook and asking them to disable or disconnect any piece of hardware? Why did I do this? Cameras and microphones can be exploited, and it's actually very hard to find laptops without a camera and microphone. Why would I spend more money at Purism for hardware toggles when I can just connect hardware when I actually want to use it. Customization, great community values and engagement, and fabulous hardware did it for me, period. The laptop arrived in one of the most thought out unboxing experiences I've had in a while. Check out the unboxing up top and in the description. It was so light, I thought the box was empty. Opening up the back, you can see that the whole laptop is basically a battery. Oh, and the speakers have been unplugged as requested. I had to verify. The casing feels cold and super light. I think it is magnesium. The screen is a 14-inch 1080 matte display. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but if you're comparing this to a 14-inch Dell that has 4K or 2K, please, there's no reason to have 4K on a screen this small. The keyboard reminds me of old MacBooks before the keyboard had all their problems. The legends have a nice off-white tone, and of course there is a simple backlighting that keeps it classy with no RGB. I have two gripes with this keyboard. One, the up-down, page up-down keys are very, very small. I could get used to it, but rather they not even be there, because one of the best parts of having a Linux machine like this is that you can program the keyboard profile yourself. That's right, I can set this up to have the same profile as my other 60% keyboards with the up-down at IJKL. The second issue I had with the keyboard is the space bar. The lip here at the edge sometimes blocked my thumb from pressing down on it. What I do like are these feet at the bottom of the laptop that are quite large and give the keyboard a bit of a tilt. Though I'd be interested in knowing how long these feet last. What is also nice is this lip that allows you to open the laptop a bit easier. It's the little things, The trackpad is nothing special, but it is also not that bad at all. It is not glass, but I was quite surprised at how smooth it was, and tap gestures were very snappy. Pressing the pad gave a little too much give for my taste. Sometimes I was worried it was dipping too far. For input-output, there's HDMI, 2 USBs, and 1 Type-C. No lightning, and that's okay for me. I would have loved to see an RJ45 port, but I guess a dongle isn't too bad. A headphone jack. You get a headphone jack. And that's important because I just had the speakers disconnected. I'm not a fan of the power button on the edge like this. It also is flush, which is probably so that it doesn't get accidentally powered on, but it's kind of awkward to turn it on and not exciting. I dig power buttons up top with the keyboard. No speaker, mic, or camera test here. I really don't care for these on a laptop. Feel free to hit the dislike button now. The setup process was very easy and everything worked out of the box. This is a fantastic Linux experience, and System76 has really taken steps to ensure the user can just get down to business. Oh, and they also give you the option to encrypt your disk. I love all these little privacy and security features packaged in a way that anyone can actually take advantage of. Battery life is actually awesome. I got this decked out with the max configs, 40 gigs of RAM and a 10th gen 4.9 gigahertz i7. And I ran virtual machines all day on it, 3 or 4 of them all at once. This thing gave me a full 10 hours. I know it touts 20 hours, and that might be true for anyone running the machine normally, but I really put it through the ringer with these VMs. The fan was of course on all the time, but I didn't notice until I put it on my lap. That said, it did get pretty hot, and putting it on my lap while running all these VMs was not comfortable. Who should get this? Anyone, literally anyone who wants something portable and robust. You'll have to leave playing AAA titles to your Windows desktop, but you can still play a library of games on Steam, type up papers, edit videos, check mail, do spreadsheets, and develop software on this no problem. This is not a video on why Linux is better than other OSs. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos about Linux and why I personally love it. But if you're comparing this to any laptops, it might be the Dell XPS, Lenovo ThinkPad, or MacBook Air. And I can say that Linux just doesn't work out of the box like it does on this machine. Dell has a developer edition with Ubuntu installed, but it's not tuned for the machine out of the box. Lenovo and Apple, you have to put it on yourself and tinker. In terms of hardware, you probably won't get better battery life from any of the other options. Look, if you need a Mac for music production, well then you need a Mac, but a MacBook Air isn't going to do it for you. You'll get a powerful portable machine for a good price that feels comparable to any of the aforementioned options. Oh, and if you're worried about your computer having Chinese parts from Clevo, all computers are made in China, and at least the parts are verified here, tested and assembled in the US by System76. And that's not something I could say confidently about any one of those mainstream companies. As I said, what you get here is a finely tuned Linux machine that works out of the box, along with a great company, open to hanging out with their users and committed to making Linux work for you. Rumor is Jeremy used to be a black hat hacker. It's nice to know someone from the dark side is helping make sure that your computer is secure and private. On a side note, I bought a stand and a KVM switch for the laptop for use at home, both of which I'll leave a link in the description if you want to pick one up. What's a KVM switch? Well, it allows me to switch my monitor and mouse keyboard to the laptop with the press of a button. Check it out. Love this thing. Best $20 I spent in a while. Look, I really love this machine. The low-key, sexy black and bronze hardware, the slim, light feel. It should be for everyone, even with Linux installed by default. If you're looking for a new laptop, I'd recommend this in a heartbeat, and I'd recommend System76 in general. The tragedy in all this is that I won't be able to keep this. Maybe Jeremy knew that I was going to have car trouble after filming my drive through NY. Check that video out. Listen, it cost me basically $1,600 to get those brakes fixed after that freaking video. And it cost me this beautiful laptop. I'm coming back for you, baby. Just wait. At least you know that they have a 30-day return policy now, and they're good for it. Now, as always, here's a sound sample of the Lemur Pro. Peace.